You're watching RT Live from Moscow. To other stories now. Italy has approved the use of its fighter jets in NATO's airstrikes in Libya, despite its earlier refusal to join the bombings. A NATO airstrike on Monday badly damaged Colonel Gaddafi's compound in the capital, Tripoli. Libyan government forces continued their siege of the rebel-held city of Misrata, where at least 10 people have been killed in shelling. It's over a month since the Allied intervention in Libya began, but there's speculation that some NATO countries supplied rebels with arms before the uprising. RT's Irina Galushko put that suggestion to an analyst from Russia's Institute of World Economy and International Relations.
So where do Libyan rebels get their arms from? To help us answer that question, we're joined today by Igor Khokhlov, a military analyst with the Russian Academy of Sciences. Thank you for joining us today. Let's look at the picture. We're looking at the arms, obviously, a rebel fighter pointing at the Gaddafi portrait. What kind of weapon is this?
So here we can see Belgian FN assault rifle, which was used by a French army. Now it's been replaced by new models of firearms. But this kind of weapon was produced in France in great amounts, and quite likely it was smuggled into Libya after the UN sanctions were imposed over this country. If we see the amount of French-made weapon at almost every picture that comes from Libya, from the rebel-controlled territory, we can see large amounts of weapon, for instance, FN guns, and they're quite likely to have come from France. You know, some experts speculate that some of those guns could have come into Libya before the sanctions were imposed, or even in the early years of Gaddafi regime, because this assault rifle was produced many years ago. But you know, if we take a look at this picture, for instance, we can easily see a rod of the gun made of plastic, and this modification of FN is quite recent. Also, it doesn't make sense for Gaddafi to purchase these guns for his own army. If we take a look at the pictures of the Libyan army, we can see they use mostly Kalashnikov guns with extremely cheap and highly available 39mm cartridge. It makes no sense to buy NATO weapon which is manufactured for a NATO cartridge, which is quite expensive. It's much more expensive than a 39mm cartridge for Kalashnikov gun, which is produced all over the world, in North Korea, in China, everywhere. So actually, we can see that this quite recent modification of FN could have come from France, and quite recently.
It's a well-known fact that some of the Libyan rebel fighters have links with Al-Qaeda. If they know about the fact that the rebel fighters have links with Al-Qaeda, does this not look like an absurd situation that they're in fact supplying people who are knowingly connected with Al-Qaeda with arms? I mean, what do we have on our hands?
What we see now, NATO countries and their leadership is so much obsessed with getting Gaddafi out of the power that they don't actually care who the rebels are. There was no Al-Qaeda, nor either any other terrorist organizations in Iraq before 2003. They came into Iraq after Saddam lost his power as a result of American-led invasion. What we see now in Maghreb countries, in Tunisia, in Egypt, and in Libya, where Al-Qaeda terrorist cells are extremely effective, that those cells could easily come into power.